Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Zach, aka Keats39 here, to bring you another NBA DFS slate. Pretty tough slate here tonight, but there's going to be two spots that we're really going to look to attack here. So, going to go ahead and get right into these two teams. The first one's the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis was listed probable yesterday, played 1 minute, as you see, and re-aggravated his injury. I would guess that he doesn't play here again tonight, and they get a match against the Bulls. It's going to be an interesting one. Like, the game technically shouldn't stay close still, but this one yesterday shouldn't, and we saw the as a massive scoring game. So and it's really one of the only spots that I actually like here. So I'm going to play it as it's a competitive game, but we all know how that always turns. Um, so what we're going to look here is for who do we think gets like the biggest bump and stuff. Uh, so at the prices, Middleton and Drew Holiday, I'm probably playing both. Um, really, they're not priced as Giannis is out, which is to be expected. Um, we saw 38 minutes, 37 minutes, 21 shots, 19 shots, 8 assists, 10 assists. Like these guys are just really good players, and they get a match against the Bulls that is like really, really good. Like Drew Holiday's gonna own Kobe White, as you can expect. Milton, I just always like playing in these scenarios. He's usually closer to 9K when it happens. Um, but yeah, those are the two easy ones. So then we get to the tough ones. So they did get PJ Tucker back. He played 30 minutes, started the second half for Giannis. Not a guy that you like playing, but he is in play because he's very, very cheap. That's 30 minutes, 6.6 boards, 2 steals. Like it's not exciting, but he is good play. The other ones, Brook Lopez is really cheap, and I expect him to play around the 31 minutes. Could even get a couple more. He's really cheap, and I really like him. We all know what he does. He can block some shots, but he's not like what he does is shoot threes. Does get like a little rebounding bump with no Giannis as you'd expect, which is really nice. Um, the one that I am having trouble with is Bobby Portis. Like he should get a bump, but his price still like pretty expensive for what his role could be. If he starts, I definitely want him, but I kind of still expect PJ Tucker to start this one, and that's what makes it really really tough. Um, and they play a little later, so I doubt I land on or Bobby Portis, but I definitely have no issue with playing him. As we know, like even in his 24 minutes yesterday, 10, 11, 4, or 3 assists, 4 steals. Like he's just a really productive player when he gets minutes. So if you take the shot on him, I have no issue with that. One that I like a lot still, Dante DiVincenzo is really cheap. Played really poor. So yesterday he only got 20 minutes. That has to deal with him not shooting well in his minutes, and then Bryn Forbes obviously dropped 30 points. He got really hot from three. That's there's always that risk. But like I was fine paying 6K for DiVincenzo, and he's all the way down to 4.8. Um, yeah, I just think that he's too cheap for like he's a really good rebounder, and he just fills stat sheet, and at the price I'm with no Giannis in this matchup, I think he's one of my favorite players on the slate. So um Tanash could draw a start, but I doubt it. Pat Connaughton could draw a start, which would have put him in play, but the addition of PJ Tucker seems like it's gonna really kind of limit Pat Connaughton. Um yeah, so that's kind of where I stand on that game. The other spot that you're going to look to attack is the Brooklyn Nets. We know there's no Kyrie or sorry, no Kevin Durant. Um, so this is, and we know there's no Bruce Brown, which is going to be kind of a bigger factor than we expect. Um, I love Jeff Green, probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. Does get Robert Covington, which is kind of bleh, but he's just really, really good. Can score, rebound, passes, especially with when the studs are missing. Just way too cheap here. Um, Joe Harris, I think, is in play. I'm not usually not a fan of playing Joe Harris, but in this matchup, I do like him. Kyrie Irving is one of the top plays on the slate. I don't. I really think yesterday was just kind of a rest day. Like they saw the back to back rest Kyrie one day, rest Kevin Durant the next day. Kind of the approach I think that they were taking. Um, but yeah, so where it gets tough is Blake Griffin hardly played yesterday. I'm guessing he gets a bigger boost today. 5K though, not too interested, but he is in play. Who else? Shamit's fine, just don't have too much interest. But he is cheap enough, so I don't mind. The other spot that I really want to talk about. I'm guessing this is a big minute DeAndre Jordan game. The game could end up going small, but I really doubt that. Nurkic is back, and so they still have been playing it, but they've been a lot of blowouts the last couple of games. But yesterday we saw Alize Johnson go 2020 off the bench, so he's gonna get ownership today at min price. I don't expect what we like. Definitely don't expect what we saw yesterday, but I really don't expect too much production here. I expect more Blake Griffin minutes. Yesterday, DeAndre Jordan DNP'd. But if you look at the matchups, the Pacers were missing Miles Turner and Demonis Sabonis again, which meant Jakar Sampson was their center, who's 6'7". Like they could afford to play small ball, didn't have to play DeAndre Jordan. Alize will get murdered if he is trying to guard these other two. He's undersized as a center. He doesn't shoot, so it's hard for him to play the 4, especially when you have guys like TLC who can play the 4 in that matchup. Jeff Green, who obviously will play a lot of the 4. Blake Griffin. I do expect him to get minutes. I just don't think he can go DMP a guy who just went for 20 and 20. But I'm expecting it. He's going to be off the bench. Enes Kanter, who is really bad defensively, but he really takes out the ability to get rebounds for these bigs because he is so aggressive on offensive rebounding, and so much strong. He's going to be way stronger than Alize. So I just don't really like. He could end up scoring 20 real points again because Kanter's really bad at defense. He's not gonna Kanter's not going to do more than 18, 20 minutes. But he's not gonna have too much success against Nurk. He's gonna get on the defensive end. So I'm just really not gonna I'm probably not gonna play that chalk here. Which sucks because I'm one of the bigger Alize fans. I know how good he is. Every time he comes in, he produces. But this matchup against the Trailblazers, I just do not think is a matchup that suits him well. Like yesterday, really was 1 in a revenge game, 2 against a team that is really small, so he could afford to play small ball center and just end. So, yeah, that's gonna do it. That's where I stand on those 2 spots, and that's gonna be really the decider on the slate. It is a tough slate, so the fill-ins are a little tougher, but I think that these 2 games are going to be really chalky, and I'm probably going to eat the chalk here. So, as always, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button over here, and I'll see you next time. Later.